Hey yo, welcome to the Best Day Ever podcast. It's your boy, Mr. TRUSAV, recording live from Wakanda, California. Wakanda forever. One specimen. Oh, I can't read emails while I'm talking. Okay, gotta be professional. So, well. The best weekend ever. Just immediately, I have to get into that. I have to get into the best weekend ever. It didn't start off too great. I missed the Raider game. I missed the Immortal Technique concert. My boys at Cal did bring home the W, though. Shout out to the Bears. Hey, you know it. We tell the story. We tell the whole damn world this is Bear territory. So they held it down. And then the unfortunate happened. We went to Santa Clara to watch the 49ers and the Seahawks. It was a good game. Went to overtime. Seattle ended winning on the last possession. So that wasn't good. But it was definitely an exciting trip. I had to work that day, unfortunately, so I was tired. I worked at Dickies in the morning, and then I got off. We rode the light rail out there, which was cool. It was better than driving. We get out there. I fell asleep on the BART. I was so tired. So I got about an hour of sleep. From the BART, there's a bus that takes you to the stadium. It drops you right off in front. It's player. I mean, it costs probably about $15, $20 to get there. But I mean, $20 is worth, the $20 was worth it, I should say. Because instead I didn't have to drive. I didn't have to park. I didn't have to drive, deal with all that traffic on the way out. So I mean, it was worth it. The game was lit. I'm not even gonna lie. It was fun. I didn't. Let me stop lying. It was terrible. It was a lot of newer fans. Obviously, sorry, not even to just 49er football, but just football in general. Every jersey was a Garoppolo jersey or a Bosa jersey or a Sherman jersey. That's not to say there wasn't some faithful fans that had been there for years. My man had a Patrick Willis jersey that looked like he had watched it so many times. You could barely see the 5 and the 2. So I could respect that. We got there right before kickoff, saw the coin flip, heard the national anthem. I was thinking about taking a knee in the crowd, but I was like, I don't really want to start no shit right now. I'm good. The entire first quarter, everyone stood up, though, and that was beyond annoying. Like, they literally stood up the entire first quarter, and I was like, this isn't a basketball game. You don't have to stand until they score. Like, have a seat. I don't know. It was just no football etiquette whatsoever. They didn't understand that you only cheer on defense. You don't cheer when your team is on offense. How will they hear the calls if you're cheering? Not that big of a Seattle presence this time. Wasn't too many Seattle Seahawks fans. There was a few pockets, but it was overwhelmingly 49ers fans, which is to be understood. They're undefeated at the time, so of course they would be there in droves. Let's see. They were up 10-0. Second quarter comes. Just a lot of bad plays. Their 49ers go down 20-10. I think they get a score before the half, make it a little closer. I know, right? The podcast that I said wasn't going to be out sports, I'm describing the entire football game. I know, it's almost over. Third quarter, they come back. Seattle's still up. They tie the game in the fourth. I think Seattle throws an interception. 49ers come down the field, miss a field goal. Seattle wins the field goal. Or Seattle kicks the field goal to win it. It was a valiant effort. They tried. But I found myself, I couldn't enjoy the game because I was analyzing it. Like, I was looking at formations, looking at routes, different pass plays, stuff like that. I wasn't really excited about it. I was more breaking down, like, personnel packages and how they played. And I came to the conclusion that the NFL just ain't what it used to be. Well, maybe it might not be the NFL, but it's just the 49ers. Let me stop because this isn't. I'll break that down some other time. That's not what we're here for. Anyway, we had fun. Well, I had fun. No one else in the stadium had fun because they lost. After the game, it was really quiet on the walk to the BART. There's a couple of people trying to stay positive. Like, we're still 8-1 in the division. Like, yeah, buddy, but you guys took an ass whooping today, which is fine. Whatever. There's always next week. So that was the best week ever, which was really the best 3-day weekend ever. But hey, that's all right. Actually, let's see. Let's see if we can get a Cindy Mac attack in here. Let's see if she answers. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right. Through the magic of radio, I'm back instantly. Unfortunately, we can't get a Cindy Mac fact today. Hard at work on the plantation like the rest of us, unfortunately. I was trying to get her. Last time I had talked to her, she said some pretty funny stuff as usual. She had to she had to take a CPR class for one of her multiple jobs. And she said that when she had completed the job, or when she completed the CPR class, the CPR instructor asked her if she felt comfortable saving a life. And with a straight face, she told him, "No, I'm not." And the guy was confused. He was like, "Well, what do you mean you're not? Like, you just passed the class?" She said, "If I'm in a situation where I have to save somebody's life, I'm just going to call 911 and just watch them. I'm not doing that." And the CPR instructor, of course, confused, asked her, "Well, what do you mean? Like, you just took the class, like, you know how to do it. If someone has a heart attack, you're not going to try to save them." And she said, "Well, if you start, you can't stop. So that means that for however long it takes for the ambulance to get there, I have to keep performing CPR, and they don't pay me for that. I just work at the gym." Which, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about that one when she said it. I wish she could be here to tell the story, but maybe we can get her before we leave, and we'll see how it goes from there. Another exciting Savage news. The move is almost complete. We're moving to the new and improved Tru Savage studio. Still in downtown Oconda. Pictures are coming. Well, we move in December 1st. So December 1st is a Sunday. So the first episode over there will be not next week, but the week after that. We might have, you know what? We might have a Christmas party there. You never know. Pictures are coming soon, though. So don't forget Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that. Oh, and TikTok. Don't forget. I've got something I have to share with you guys. This is really personal. You guys can't tell anybody. It's just me and you guys talking. This November has not been going too well for your boy. I haven't been smoking. I haven't been drinking. As a matter of fact, it'll be a year in December. And I want to say maybe 7 months for not smoking. But I have been indulging. I just came from BJ's earlier today. Avocado rolls were on hit. Mozzarella sticks were on hit. Spinach dip was fire. And I had a Pizookie. So I had it all. I had bread, sugar, dairy. So ashamed. It started out good. The month start. I've been strong for 60 days, 70 days. I was great. After the dog got bit and we had the visitor, it was just kind of a snowball thing. Had that first taste of Round Table, and then some fries, and then the jalapeno poppers from Church's, and then some hummus here and there, and it was just bad. I haven't drank any soda though, but I did have the ice cream on top of the cookie today, and that's got to be the last one. I'm I'm taking a new stance. I mean, as a matter of fact, shout out to Phonetics. His uh his daily posts at the gym are beyond inspiring. My bad, I'm stuttering and stammering. I'm reading the group chat. It's the Savage group chat, and it's wild in there. It's wild in there. I'm here to tell you. No, I didn't do that, did I? Okay, I'm bugging. I'm definitely bugging. Yeah, the Savage group chat is lit. I wish I could. I wish I could add you guys, but I can't. It's wild in there. But yeah, he. I told him, I was like, bro, I work at Dickies and I work at the gym. Like, I really don't have time. Cause I start work at 6 in the morning. I get off at 2:30, and then start the next job at 3:30, and get off at 11. So with travel time, I get home at 11:30. I go to sleep at 12. Get up at 5 to be back at work by 6. So the only days I really have to work out would be Sunday and Monday. And he's like, so it sounds like you're making excuses. And I was like, damn, you're right. I mean, I work at a gym. How can I not have time to get a workout in? So I'm just going to have to do it. I just can't. It was I enjoyed these couple of weeks of eating bad, but it's like I gotta get back together. It was a nice little break from fruits and vegetables, but yeah, I can just feel my body yelling at me like, my guy, what are you doing? We were doing so good. Now you done fell off. The hardest part about it, I would say, is with anything really. When you first start a new routine, whether it be eating habits, a workout, or just if you're trying to change how you act in general, the hardest people to convince are your friends and family because they know you. They know your bullshit. When I went vegetarian a couple years ago, and I'm not. I didn't go vegetarian because I was trying to save the world. I went just because I had watched one of those PETA documentaries that talked about the caged chickens and the conditions of the cows and all that other type of stuff. So I felt it. I was like, all right, let me try to make some better eating decisions, stuff like that. And the one person who would not respect it was Pops. He just 100% didn't give a fuck about my vegetarian anything. I was like, yeah, I don't really eat meat. I was still eating trash because I was still eating cheese, bread, sugar, so on and so forth. But just the meat in general, and I was working out back then, so it didn't have the wheat and dairy, I should say, didn't have the same kind of effects as it did now because I was actually moving and grooving. But for him, though, he didn't respect it at all. Not whatsoever. I would be like, yeah, we would go to a restaurant. They would order steaks and chicken, whatever. I was like, oh, let me get a side salad with a fruit bowl or something. And he would be upset isn't even the word. Boy, what the fuck is wrong with you? We're just at this good ass restaurant. You go get some motherfucking salad. I was like, bro, I don't eat meat. Like, that's not my get down anymore. I'm trying to be a little healthier. Shut your bitch ass up. This is at a restaurant in front of the waiter or waitress. I was like, my guy, I'm just trying to eat a little healthier, you know. I'm not going to play football forever. I can't be a 350-pound nigga forever. Like, Jesus. Or if he ordered food at the house, he would ask me what I wanted. Hey, I'm going to order Chinese food. You want something? Yeah, just let me get a noodle and some fried rice. I don't even want the chicken fried rice, nothing like that. This nigga would order it with chicken every time and be like, just take it out. Why can't you just pick it out? Like, bro, the chicken is, they cooked it in the noodles and stuff. Like, it's on the, you know what? Never mind, dog. It's cool. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, shout out to Pops. Just fuck your vegetarian. You gonna eat this chicken and beef. Uh, but yeah, that's always the hardest part. Friends and families. Again, shout out to my man Fun because we were crippled at the same time this year. We both got hurt, and I started going to the gym first, and then he started going, and he stuck it out, and he inspired me to get my shit back together because I'm an old man, and I was looking for every excuse in the world not to take my ass back to the gym. But yeah, I'm starting to sound like a bowl of Rice Krispies when I get up and walk in the morning. Snap, crackle, pop around this motherfucker. Silence. I gotta get it together. Plus, I gotta give the wife something to look at. Can't be how we're looking at all these other buff dudes at the gym. I'm over here looking like a bowl of melted ice cream. That's not going to work. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Plot twist. I know I told you guys about the dog and her getting fucking mauled by this Rottweiler at the dog park. I don't mean to laugh. But she had got bit by another dog at the dog park. And I got the lady's information. I got a name and a phone number. And as soon as it happened, in my mind, I'm thinking, this lady's going to give me a fake phone number. I'm never going to see her again. She's just going to bail or change her number. But to my surprise, she called me back that day. She called me back. Like I said, her husband came in, took care of the vet bill. It was like $1,200. Was it 12, 15? Somewhere in there. I don't even know what the bill was. Because once I told them someone else was going to pay, they did some kind of magic. And he took care of it. So he's a stand-up guy. Well, that weekend, after it happened, the dog, her face started to swell up. It looked like she had some kind of infection. So I had to take her back to the emergency room. And they rang up another bill of like $950. So my pockets were already touching. So I didn't know. So I had applied for that credit card the first time. I ended up paying with the credit card this time. We took her maybe a week later just for a routine checkup. So it's another $157. I'm texting the number like, hey, I had to take her back to the doctor. Here's a picture of the dog. Here's a picture of the bill. If you could, help your boy out again, do right by me, I'd appreciate it. No response. So I'm like, okay, well, let me keep trying. Because where I work at, I don't really get reception in the building. So a lot of times people will try to call and they can't get a hold of me. So it's understandable. I get it. So I gave them a little bit of time. Because, it happens. Life comes at you fast. Plus, I didn't want to hit them up, always begging for some money. I was like, worst case scenario, if I have to pay for it, I have to pay for it. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my responsibility, but I'm not one to really hound people for money. Like, you got it. You paid half. Like, that was fair as far as I was concerned. They owed more, but whatever. So, let's see. I was off Thursday and Friday because my wife had a surgery. And I texted her and was like, look, you can call me in the next 2 days. I'll be off. Feel free to call me whenever you like. I'll be here to talk about how we can resolve this. No answer. Friday goes by, Saturday, Sunday. Today, we're at BJ's, and she texts me again and said, oh, well, I talked to your wife, and she said that Halo is doing well, and she thanked us for the payments. And I was like, I have never heard of Halo before. What are you talking about? I said, you know what? Why don't you just call me? Because obviously something's getting lost in translation over the phone. So we could just resolve this. Because I just want to be done at this point. If you're not going to pay, that's fine. I already paid. Just let me know. So she calls me, and she's like, her husband was like, yeah, I talked to your wife, and we gave her a check for like $400 and at this Richmond vet. And I said, sir, I don't even like driving past Richmond, let alone going to the vet in Richmond. Like that's just not something that I would do. And I'm with my wife right now, and I'm looking at her phone. She doesn't have any calls from your phone number, and I'm more than certain if she cashed a check for anything, she would have told me about it. So I think there's something afoot here. So we talk and we start figuring out, and apparently another person had contacted them about some kind of bill for their dog, which leads me to believe that their dog bit someone else within the 2 or 3 day span that it bit our dog, which is crazy. But hey, that wasn't my business. As long as you got my little ducats together. So we talked for about maybe 10, 15 minutes, and I had ordered my food. My food had just arrived at the table when they called, and I'm outside for 10, 15 minutes. But dude was a stand-up guy. I'll give it to him. Like, my man came with an open checkbook. He was upset that his dog had injured our dog. He was cool about it. Like, he didn't try to say, oh, it was your fault, it was this. He just came with a checkbook and was like, whatever the cost is fine. We came to the conclusion, because he kept asking me if I knew this person that had contacted them. And I was like, no, I've never heard that name before. That's not my wife's name. My wife has the same last name as me, so I don't know how that could have happened. It sounds like there's part of the story that you're not telling, because why would you be so cavalier about just writing a check to someone you didn't know about a dog bite? But you know what? Not my business. God bless him. At the end of the conversation, he just said, let me know what time you want to meet me. I'll meet you at the dog park, and I'll bring a check for the amount. I said perfect. I'll be there at 3 o'clock, my guy. So 3 o'clock rolls around, my man pulls up, cashier's check, signs it over to me. I was like, man, you can come over for Thanksgiving if you want to, my guy. Like, it, you know, sometimes people call into question people's integrity or the kindness of humanity. And I mean, they could have bailed on us. They could have gave us a number and just not answered or blocked us or whatever. But it was really refreshing to know that there was people out there that will take responsibility for what happened, sometimes to their detriment, I think. And he was a stand-up guy. It was like, you know what? My dog bit your dog. Whatever is associated with it, I'll pay. It's not an issue. So I was shocked, in all honesty. I thought they were going to pay the first time, and anything past that, it wasn't their problem. They were just going to keep it pushing. So, I mean, shout out to my man. Like, he's on the Christmas card list. Like, I'm fucking with him. Like, anything you guys need, I told him, like, if you need somebody to watch your dog, if you need a ride, if you just want to come kick it for a holiday, like, we got you. Like, that was what's up. I couldn't believe it. Shout out to Rob and Eva. Y'all are the shit. While we're doing shout outs, I'm hooked on this new TV show. You guys got to check it out. No sponsorship. It's called The Watchmen. Now, if you saw the movie doesn't have shit on the TV show whatsoever. It's starring my favorite actress of all time, Regina King. I've loved her since, what was that movie with Will Smith? Will Smith, Gene Hackman. Oh, the name of the movie escapes me. I can't think of it. What's it called? Oh, I'm not supposed to do this. We're going to look it up. What is it called? Regina King. Will Smith. Yep. Oh, look at that. First one in there. Enemy of the State. Oh, how could I forget? Enemy of the State. That was in 98, back when she was finding the motherfucker. I digress. I can't really tell you what the show is. Well, the show is about superheroes. It's 30 years after the movie took place. The movie was 2007 or so. But it's in a world with superheroes, and not like the Superman, Batman type of superheroes, but like they have like super reaction, super strength, stuff like that. So it's not it's not as far fetched as Captain America and all the other type of stuff. Me and a couple of guys at work talk about it because they put me on a whole bunch of good movies and series. True Detective is another one. Season 1 and Season 3. If you're going to watch it, watch Season 3 first and then watch Season 1. Probably one of the best shows I've seen. Probably top 5. We'll do a show about that. The top 5 series. There was... Because I usually don't watch series week to week. I try to watch it in one sitting in one day. So it's kind of like watching a movie. That was one of the best ones I've ever seen. Mindhunters was another one that they had recommended. Another brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's the story of how they started to do profiling with serial killers back in like 70s, 80s. Amazing. Chernobyl was another good one that they had recommended about the nuclear reactor in Russia. Oh. But I digress. The Watchmen, if the TV show is amazing, I ended up buying the comic book itself. It's maybe, I want to say 20 books. Got it for $10.99 on Amazon. Can't put it down. It's amazing. It's not sure, like Marvel comic books are, I don't want to say, if it was on a scale, Marvel is maybe PG-13. Anything that my man, the name of the guy who wrote it is Alan Moore. He writes for DC. His is rated R, damn near M. They cuss. They're in there getting pussy. It's something else. My man Alan Moore is. Stanley wishes he was Alan Moore. Straight up. It's can't stop talking about it. What's today? Today's Monday, so the last episode was yesterday. If you've got nothing to do, power's over, and you need something to watch for, check out The Watchmen. Another exciting news. The kids are still acting poor at the gym. I came into the gym the other day, and some of the people eat healthy in the gym. Some of them don't. The majority of them don't. I look in the refrigerator, and these motherfuckers have a bag of chicken wings, like the Foster Farms party wings. Which, whatever. If that's your thing, if that's what you want to do, God bless you. I'm not here to say that you can't eat these Foster Farms wings. But the problem is we don't have an oven, which means that they were microwaving these things. And you have to microwave them for like 15 minutes. Our lunch is only 45. So that meant you spent a third of your lunch microwaving these dry-ass Foster Farms. But I mean, hey, it's almost time for payday. We get paid on Friday. So, I mean, it's better than the value pack of ramen noodles that they're getting from Safeway. Because I think you get 15 packs of ramen noodles for like $10. So every time you come in the break room, it smells like sodium and soda. Just straight salt. Or they might have one of those prepackaged noodle bowls. That's, I mean, I can't turn my nose up at them. I just came from BJ's. Man, at least I was eating some top shelf shit. Which, even when, bring it back full circle, when I was eating vegetarian, I never had a problem with people eating meat. That's what I don't really understand with a lot of people who are vegan or vegetarian. Like, you gotta respect what other people are doing. Just because you're a vegan doesn't mean that you're somehow on a higher moral plane than somebody. A lot of the vegans I know are still fat asses. Because, I mean, beer, french fries, and cookies are vegan. So you can eat it. You can still eat horrible and be a vegan under the guise of, oh, I'm still healthier than you. Well, no. Just because you drank a kombucha or some kind of tea doesn't counteract that bottle of Smirnoff you drank this weekend, or that 6-pack of Guinness, or whatever IPA or craft beer you're drinking, buddy. And the same thing with my vegetarian homies. I went to a barbecue, and they were like, "Oh, like, what are you gonna eat? This and this." And I was like, "Don't worry about me." I was like, "I tell you what, this is what we're gonna do. I'm not going to down you guys for eating your meat or whatnot, but what we are going to do is we're going to do a little taste test. So I'm gonna buy some beef and some chicken and some sausage from I got it from Sprouts. Sprouts is pretty decent, and we'll see what the difference is, not only in taste but flavor and so on and so forth. So now they got me working the grill on top of it. So I get their little steaks, sausage and whatnot, slice it up, put it on different plates. I know which one's which, and it's you can look at it and just be like, oh, because I got it from one of those discount grocery stores, Pack and Save or Food Max, some shit like that. Some beef that's probably been there for 3 weeks. And when they ate it, it was immediate. You could just tell by the looks on their faces, like, oh, this is good. And I was like, yeah, and it only costs maybe $1 more a pound, maybe $2 at the max. So yeah, you're spending $8, maybe $10 more on the same amount of food, but at least it tastes good. At least it looks good. At least it has some kind of flavor instead of this old nonsense that they've had in the back for a month or whatever type of shit. So again, it's staying true to yourself. If you're gonna do your vegan, vegetarian, whatever, just rock out. If you eat meat, I still fuck with you. I'll still come to the barbecue. I'm not gonna be that person that's, oh, you animal killer, and just, hey, some people, that's all they can eat. Like there's people in the South, the Midwest, even out here, that can't afford to go to the store to buy meat or to buy a lot of these fruits and vegetables or acai bowls or vegan substitutes. So they take that rifle outside, go shoot whatever's outside, and that's dinner. And I respect it. It's not for me to say that you're a bad person because you killed the animal. If that's what you got to do to eat, hey, it's a circle of life. You like Lion King, but you don't like real life situations. So I guess my coworkers are right. Well, I say they're right because I got another call about going to HR because apparently I'm an asshole. I know, right? I'm shocked too. For those of you who know me, no one in my entire life has ever called me an asshole because I'm the nicest person you've ever met. I get called in on, what was it? I think Wednesday. Come in first day back from it was after the game because I was off Tuesday. So I come in on Wednesday. Oh, you need to go to HR. I'm like, all right, fine. I already know what it is. I show up. Hey, how you doing? Whoop. I'm like, yeah. Well, we had a complaint from an employee. It's like, oh, not surprised. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, they're pretty soft. And they're like, what do you mean they're pretty soft? It's like, well, they don't really know how to take criticism, constructive or otherwise. Today, if you tell them that they're doing something wrong or there's a way that they can do it better, you're hating. You're throwing shade, as the kids would say, which isn't necessarily true, but I get it. They come from a different era. So, long story short, they tell me that my criticism of employees is unwarranted, and these certain employees feel that I am bullying them because of how I respond to certain things. I'll give you an example. There's a young lady that works in the mornings that I have to tolerate, and she always has something slick to say. But see, the thing is, the person I am outside of work and the person I am at work are two different people. So if you see me at work, you think like, oh, he's just this jolly, fun-loving guy. He would never say anything rude or disrespectful. Wrong. Wrong. So she tells me, oh, Tru Sav, you need to, what did she say? She tried to use some kind of $5 word. You need to participate in our development more at work. I said, look, don't use big words. You might choke on them, which is probably the most unprofessional thing you could do at work. But I mean, she comes late every day. She's got a bad attitude. She doesn't serve the food right. I want you to quit. Like, please do us both a favor. You don't want to be here. And when I'm talking to HR, I explained, like, look, I've come to you guys with this before. I've told you they don't work. I told you they come late, and you guys don't do anything. How am I supposed to respond? If they come at me with some bullshit, I'm going to come right back with it. Like, I don't have time for it. You guys aren't even old enough. You don't even live by yourself. You still live with your parents. I really don't have time for your bullshit if you don't pay rent. As much fucking money as I pay in rent, I really don't want to hear your childish ass problems. I don't want to hear your smart ass remarks. I'm not your parents. I don't got to give a fuck about what you're talking about. You can go tell that to somebody else. Well, Tru Sav, as true as that may be, you can't talk to them like that. I was like, yeah, okay. We'll see about that. Another employee, I had asked her, like, hey, not just saying, like, why don't you just fire them? Like, you're the GM. Well, it doesn't work like that. The owner of the store doesn't want me to fire people because when you fire people, they can claim unemployment. And he basically doesn't want to risk having to pay people unemployment to not come to work. So he would prefer just to keep bad employees and hopefully one day they'll quit so he doesn't have to pay them. Which doesn't make too much sense to me because it's like you're killing the business in the meantime. Like, the longer they stay here, the more damage they do. It's just cut them loose. Fuck it. If you have to pay them for however long to not do shit, fuck it. We'll make more money in the long run because now we'll have return customers. People that work here will know you're not playing any games with them. But that's not my business. I just sell beef, chicken, and spicy cheddar sausages. The spicy cheddar sausage, fire. If you ever find a Dickies, spicy cheddar sausage and waffle fries is the shit. I used to make, I'm totally off the topic, but give me a second. If you ever go to a Dickies, there's a couple in Northern California. I don't think there's too many in Southern California. You want waffle fries, jalapeno beans, put some sour cream and some diced onions on there. Fuego. It's going to cost you like $6, $7, but it's worth it, I promise. So, back to reality. So, I'm in HR. We're going back and forth. And I'm telling them, like, look, I'm just here to make sure that we win. I'm not here to hurt people's feelings or try to talk shit to people. My record speaks for itself. It's nothing that I did to someone. Like, I didn't touch somebody. I didn't set them up for failure or anything. My issue is something that I said to somebody, which has been pretty much the story of my life. The few people, well, no, the majority of the people who don't like me can never say that I did something to them. Most of the times, no, all of the times that I've rubbed people the wrong ways because of an off-color joke I made, or I did a cartwheel in their living room or something silly. But it's never, you can never point to a moment and be like, oh, he's an asshole because he drove his car through my mom's living room, or he drank the last beer at the party. So it's always, he said that my teeth look like they were throwing up gang signs, or he said that my girlfriend looks like the penguin, or some shit like that. Some shit like that. And I mean, I'll acknowledge it. Like, I'm an ass, but I mean, in the same breath, I'm the same person that'll talk shit to you, but I'll give you my last to make sure that you're good. Meaning that I've done so, and it's like, it's almost silly to talk about it. It's not really a good deed if you bring up the good deeds. But I mean, I've gone out of my way to help people that have turned around and shitted on me, and it doesn't bother me. My wife doesn't really understand it. She was like, I don't understand how you can still like people or hang out with people that have intentionally tried to do shit to play you. I was like, well, that doesn't matter to me. To me, it's more about my response. Like, I'm trying to do a good deed, and if you don't reciprocate that good deed, I mean, that speaks more to you than me, so it doesn't bother me. Like, that's fine. It's, I guess, annoying at best. Like, you would, but again, I can't dictate people's behavior, and I don't think that you should. If you do a good deed for someone and they turn around and be like, oh, fuck you, or he's still this, that, and the other, I mean, you can't get mad about it. As long as your intentions were to do something nice, then you won. I mean, again, it speaks more to that person than you. Don't. I mean, if that was the case, I wouldn't have any friends. Like, shit. And who would? People make mistakes. People get upset. Like, there's things that I've said to people out of anger that I wish I hadn't said or hadn't done, and it turned out to be wrong. Like, to error is human. You got to, again, you got to get off your high horse and stop thinking that you're so perfect and things like that. That and it's hard for me to respect somebody who can't beat me up. let me preface that. What I mean is, especially in customer service and just dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, a lot of times, people who can fight don't really talk shit. They don't really have slick shit to say. They don't really get an attitude with you. No, there's the people who are the exception and not the rule that will talk shit and will fight. But that's rare. Usually people who are willing to fight, there's nothing to talk about. If it's a fight, it's a fight. It's popping. You said what? And that's it. The people who talk the most shit are the ones who can't fight or who won't fight. So if you want to go back and forth with me and talk shit, especially customers, if you got some little rude comment under your breath or you want to say this, that, and the other, I know you're really not about it. I know what's really happening is, well, you're really trying to flex your power on me. I try to tell everyone, not only after I hire them, but in any situation, when you have a customer that comes in and they're rude off top, just let it go. Because again, it speaks to their character more than it speaks to yours. They're like, well, for example, I had a guy come in. He had bought, I don't know, he had bought 2 regular meals. It's probably like $15 each. We forgot a mac and cheese or something. It's a $2 side. So he calls, and when he calls, he's already irate. You guys forgot my mac and cheese. This is it. I apologize, sir. Why don't you come back? We got you. So instead of giving him the small one, we were about to close. I gave him one of the bigger ones, threw a couple rolls in there. Here you go. My bad. So he comes back. He comes into the store like he's Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Swings the door open. Oh, you guys forgot my stuff. Sir, I was there on the phone. I'll be more than happy to give you whatever you need. I gave you the big one instead, threw a couple rolls and a cookie in there for you. Well, I need to be compensated for my gas money. What? Sir, that's ridiculous. We forgot your mac and cheese. I gave you your mac and cheese. I gave you a roll and a cookie. Like anything else that I can't help you with. Now, the whole time I'm talking, I have a smile on my face. I mean, shit, I know I can fight. So if it comes down to it, we're just going to be wrestling in this motherfucker. Like, you're not pumping fear into me because you got an attitude. Like, that doesn't mean shit to me. If you were really upset, you'd have came in, you might have threw the food at me, and you'd have came behind the counter, and we'd have just been fighting. But the more you talk, the more I know you're really a pussy. Because again, in the famous words of Marshawn Lynch, you're gonna be about that action, boss. You ain't gonna be nothing to talk about. Now, mind you, there's 4 people in the store at this point, 4 employees, so they're watching to see how I react to it. So I was like, after he says he needs gas, I was like, yeah, sir, I can't do that. I gave you your food. I gave you extra food, as a matter of fact. Have a nice day. So you think this is funny? You think this is fucking funny? You just gonna fuck my order up? And I'm still laughing. I was like, no, sir. I just smile like this all the time. I've already gave you your food. There's nothing else I can help you with. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. So as he's walking out the door, I probably shouldn't have said this, but I'm a savage, so fuck it. It's like, have a nice day, sir. Don't forget to come back. So now he storms back. What did you say? I said, have a nice day, sir. Don't forget to come back. Oh, you think this is fucking funny? I was like, again, sir, I gave you your food. I asked you to have a nice day. I don't understand what the issue is. So we have some posts for a little bit, then he leaves. So when he leaves, everyone comes up and is like, oh my gosh. Like, weren't you scared? And I was like, scared of what? Like, what was he going to do? Like, number one, if he comes behind the counter, in my mind, we're getting robbed. So he's about to really get his motherfucking ass whooped. I'm going to beat him with the fryer thing. Anything I could pick up with, you're going to take this ass whooping. And I was like, again, like I had told him a long time ago, anyone who comes in there with an attitude like that, you're already telling me it's not really about the food. When people come into any sort of establishment, whether it's a grocery store or a restaurant, Pet Boys, and they argue like that, what it tells me is that you don't get respect in real life. Whether it's at home, on your job, from your significant other, and you're going to try to make me respect you. Because they know if I come into an establishment and I ask to talk to the manager, that it's going to get escalated and that now someone is going to come out there and have to take them serious and they're going to have to do something about it. So that's all people want. People wanted to be treated with respect. They want to feel important. So it doesn't really bother me because people who really got money or people who really get respect at the house, it doesn't bother them. I know when I get shitty service somewhere or something like that happens, I'm just like, okay, mental note, I'll never come back to this motherfucker again. Like, oh, so you're going to be, it's like when the person at Taco Bell doesn't want to give you more sauce at the window, or the person, I can only give you 3. All right, you got me. Mr. McDonald's, man, you're in control of the situation. All right, you're the boss. Have a good one. Make sure to get those fries, homie. And that's not to say that I'm better than anybody, but if that's the kind of energy you've got, I don't have time for it. I'm not going to go back and forth with you for what? Because you're upset. My thing is, and like I tell all the employees there, again, with situations like that, your life is the culmination of the choices you make. You are exactly where you were supposed to be at. If you would have made different choices or different decisions and situations, you would be somewhere else. But the choices you've made in your life have brought you to this point. It was meant to be that you're at Dickies, or it was meant to be that you're here at 24 Hour Fitness with me. All the choices you've made in your life. When you decided not to go to school, when you decided to smoke some weed instead of going to class at City College, or you decided you were going to move out or break up with that person, like, this is what it is. This is your life. It's no one's fault. And again, it's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just to say you have to be accountable for the decisions that you make. You can't blame other people. It's not anyone's fault. It's just what it is. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. If you feel that it's a bad thing, make some different decisions, make some changes, and you can change your shit. Otherwise, you're going to wallow in self-pity. You're going to be like Eeyore. You're going to constantly walk around with a cloud above your head, blaming other people, and your life is just going to go to waste. Or, if you don't like the situation you're in, you can make positive changes and get up out of there. I mean, it's simple. So, I mean, to wrap it up, the HR trip, I didn't really get in trouble. It was just chill out. Stop telling these piece of shit employees that they're pieces of shit. Just play nice and try to be more constructive with your criticism, and make sure that you stay away from them because they just don't like their life. Vampires are real. I'm here to tell you, people will try to suck the life out of you, and that's how they live. Uh-oh. Yeah, that was kind of deep. I can't leave it. when I say vampires are real, I mean not real in the sense of I want to suck your blood and garlic and crosses and shit. I mean people live off of your energy. Meaning there's people who they live off of causing confusion and anxiety. So like everyone has that person that they work with that's always in some bullshit. Like they're always complaining. They're always they suck the life out of the room. And those people are vampires. Like that person at the job that's always in some bullshit. Like, did you hear that so-and-so did this and so-and-so did this? Or they're always complaining about the manager. Or they're complaining about, why don't we do this? And this would be so much better. Like, those people are vampires. Whether it's a coworker, a spouse, a family member. Those are the ones that are hard to get away from. Like, sometimes you got to tell your family members, fuck you. Take this cross and go away. I read, let's see. Positive affirmation for the day. I had told them at work, this is a good one I'd seen on my Instagram. It said, I'm so focused on me and my life. I don't care who's fake, who fucked me over, who fucks with me, who got this, who's got that going. If it's not some motivation and positive shit, I literally don't give a fuck about it. I mean, I just don't. But I mean, it made me think when damn, I'm just breaking all the rules. No politics, no sports, no religion. It made me think back to my man phonetics and eating correctly. When we were on a church hype a couple years ago, we had found a really good Bible study. My man was top notch. And as a matter of fact, that's actually the guy that married me and my wife, Pastor Jones. Shout out to Pastor Jones. He didn't focus so much on the Jesus Christ superhero. He focused more on the lessons. I talked about him before. Like, how can you apply these things to your life? And one of the times one of the lessons that we talked about was, when were you your best self? Or I'm sorry, when were you at your best? And it made me think not even financially, just when were you at your best mentally, physically? When was everything falling into place for you? What type of things were you doing? How were you responding to other people? And that's really what made me think about going back to the gym, stop eating all this bullshit again. Because I would say it was that summer 2001 when all the savages got together. Now, I probably wasn't acting my best because we were doing some wild shit. Oh, the cart lick. Next time. I'll tell the story about the cart lick next time. I got you. I promise I will tell that story along with some other capers. But I would say that summer right after ARC to Sac City. Because I was working out, I was eating right. I was still going to church from time to time. Again, is the book the holy written infallible word of God? I don't know. I wasn't there when he wrote it. But a lot of the lessons in there, I think, apply back then and even now. I was young, and I didn't know that a lot of the shit that I was doing was stupid. And I just had, when you're young and you don't know what you're doing, you just have this air of confidence that I've got this plan and this plan is going to work and I'm going to rock with it. And I think that's what bothers people now, as I'm starting to get that kind of air back. And I feel like everyone should have it. These people, especially now, like my whole attitude is, I'm the shit and you know it. Yeah, I know. It's fun to be arrogant sometimes. I mean, when you set plans and you start to see your plan come to fruition, it's hard not to feel that way. A lot of times, when you make a plan isn't being a step ahead. The plan is being 3 or 4 steps ahead. So it's not just, oh, what's my plan for this weekend? It's what's my plan in 6 months, a year, 5, 10, 20. And when you start to see those pieces to the puzzle come together and everything that you wanted come to fruition, it's hard to not feel like you're the shit. And it's not saying that I'm better than anybody. I'm far from that. Please believe it. But I do feel like, as far as the only person I'm in competition with is myself. Am I better than I was yesterday? And I'm for damn sure better than I was yesterday, even a year ago. And there's so much negative self-talk, self-doubt. I think my problem is that I was just too stupid to doubt myself. Even within my circle of friends, I spent a lot of time by myself, so I was too stupid to know that I was fucking up or that my goals or aspirations were too big. So to me, I was the shit. Even though I didn't have all the cool clothes or the cool cars or all the girls, like, I was the shit. And when you have that kind of aura, people gravitate towards you. Because I never felt the need to try to shit on other people to make myself feel better. Yeah, I'll crack some jokes. Like, that's just how you get in the circle. If you want to be accepted into a group of people, first you get along, then you go along. If you crack, like, you got to be able to take a joke. So I never felt the need to pick on people. I never felt the need to exclude people. So I was accepting of everybody, black, white, short, fat, ugly, cute, rich, poor, whatever. It didn't matter. Like, I could accept you as a person. And it's weird now as an adult, because with social media and all this other stuff, people are so quick to judge and feel the need to say, I'm better than this person. Look at how I'm living. Then it's like, yeah, but what kind of person are you? And again, I'm sure I'd had to have told you this before. I had a customer one morning that it's when people ask me how I'm doing, again, every day it's, how are you doing? Best day ever. Next, how you doing? Best day ever. Best day ever. And is every day the best day ever? Well, yeah, let me stop lying. I'm alive, so I can't complain. But so for some people's comparison, it's not, because I'm not rich or I'm not this or I'm at work. That after a while, sometimes it wears people down. And they're like, well, you know what? Like, maybe it is. Maybe I need to stop this woe is me, feeling bad for myself. There's always going to be somebody in a more fucked up situation than you. I don't like to think about it like that. I like to think of it as, there's someone who's looking at you for inspiration. Their life may not be what they want it to be, but when they see you in the same situation and you have a positive attitude, it's like, well, damn, if we're both in the same situation and he's always positive, maybe if I have that same kind of attitude, things will change for me. And I said that to say, when I was talking to this customer, like, customers know now that I say it, like, so much so that people will just walk by the store. They'll be walking to another store, will stick their head in and be like, hey, Tru Sav, how you doing today? I'll be like, best day ever. And they're like, I know. And then they'll just keep it moving. And this one particular day, a customer had came in and she's like, hey, how you doing? It's like, best day ever. She's like, oh, well, okay. So she orders her food, and I asked her, I was like, well, is today the best day ever for you? Well, no, I'm going to get this food, and my husband is this and this. And she started talking about some of the negative stuff that her and her husband were going through. And I just asked her, I was like, well, I mean, I don't mean to pry, and I don't mean to be in your business, but if you're not happy in your situation, then why do you stay? And she's like, well, we've been together for so long, and how would I start over? And it's like, man, it's never too late. If you're in a situation where someone is not treating you with respect or dignity, or they don't acknowledge your worth as a person or a partner, why would you stay? Like, I say it's the best day ever because I don't get yesterday and I might not get tomorrow. Why would I stay in a situation with someone who doesn't respect me or who doesn't feel like I bring any value to their life? It's like, I love my wife to death, but if I ever felt like she didn't value me or love me or treat me like I'm the prized possession that I am, then I would dip, and vice versa. If she felt that I was doing that, I would respect it. Like, you shouldn't feel captive to a person because, oh, well, I don't want to get divorced or I don't want to start my life over. Like, that's definitely not how you're going to live your life or how you should live your life. And I shit you not, she broke down and started crying, like right there in the store. So like I came around and I hugged her and I was just like, I mean, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to touch a nerve, obviously. And she was like, no, like I needed to hear that. Like, you're right. Because she was older, she was maybe late 40s, early 50s. So she came up at a time where divorce wasn't a thing. Like, no matter how bad your situation is, you just don't get divorced. You ride it out, you deal with the bullshit, and that's just your life. And I was like, no, sweetheart. That's not how we're rocking in 2019. That's not. But I said that not to say that I'm this prolific prophet or speaker of truth, but it's when you're the shit like I am, humble brag, and you have this positive influence and you have this positive aura, like people respond to you like that. And when you're trying to do nothing but speak the truth and help people, like it's become a common occurrence now. Like, I spend so much time not even just making people's food, but just saying, hey, this is how I feel. It's the best day ever. Like, how could you not be excited about being alive? We live in one of the best countries. We live in one of the best cities in one of the best countries in the world. You're alive. You're in here buying some food, hanging out with me. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to keep it contained. And when people see that, it makes them happy. It makes them happy to see me. It makes them happy there's a customer that comes in at least 3 times a week, maybe 4. I know he's not eating all the food that he buys, but he comes in because of how I treat him. And when I see him, he's not Phil, the substitute teacher. He comes in, he gets big up. Oh, what's up, Phil? Oh, you want your green beans with your baked potato and your so-and-so side? I got you. Don't even wait in line. I got your food ready. When it's ready, I'll call you up. Like, everyone wants to be treated like they're somebody. So, I mean, shit, you have to treat yourself like you're somebody. You can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself. Like, now this doesn't come with problems, or this does not come without problems, because a lot of times when people see how customers react to me, oh, you're a kiss ass, oh, you're a this, you don't really feel that way, like you're faking. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here. It's not my fault you're bitter and your life's fucked up. It's not my fault. Your mom should have swallowed you. But I mean, hey, I love it. It's the best day ever. Oh shit. Oh, we're in overtime again. Look at, you guys are getting nothing but gems this month. For the whole month of November, I'm blowing out my diet and you guys are getting overtime specials. All right. Well, since we're already here, we might as well finish it off strong. I was going to do a top 5 plus 2. Things that irk my goddamn soul. I have to do this one because I've been wanting to do this for like a month. All right. So, a couple of things that bother me. I got 2 honorable mentions and I got a top 5. 5 and 2. It's a weird number. 52. Weird. First honorable mention. People who ask me for advice. These are things that just, I don't hate. I don't hate a lot. I don't hate anything really. Well, there's a couple of things I hate, but we'll talk about that later. These are just slight annoyances in my day that really get the fuck on my nerves. People who don't take advice. People who will sit me down and be like, hey, I want your advice on something. My boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whatever, this is happening. What should I do? Oh, okay. Well, I was in that same situation. Woo, you should do. Woo. Okay, that's what's up. Then I see him a week later, and they do the exact opposite of what I said. It's like, it's not because my advice is so perfect, but it's like, why would you ask me how you should handle the situation, and then you don't do what I said, and then you're surprised at what happened? Like it irks me to no end. Second honorable mention, my motherfucking wife. Well, not her in general. I love her to death. We'll go shopping. I guess it's a continuation of the first one, kind of. And she'll ask me, oh, do you want to get this comforter? Or do you want to get this? I'll be like, no, I don't want to get it. Oh, okay, well, I do. It's like, well, what the fuck did you ask me for if you were going to do it anyways? Like, well, I guess that is a prime example of the first one. So like, it was 1.2. People who don't say thank you when you open the door for them. Or people who just walk in front of you, you open the door like it was expected. Like, I just want to trip them. I want to kick the back of their fucking foot and I hope they fall. Like, you punk rock bitch. It goes back to respect. Like, you would never try this if there was no cameras outside because you know it'll beat the soul out of you. But I'm an adult now. I don't really do that anymore. All right. Top 5 really quick because we're in overtime. I had to go change my clothes out. People who don't acknowledge you when you're talking to them. So when someone walks up to the counter, I'm like, hey, good morning, good afternoon, how you doing? Oh, I want 2 meat with this and this. Like, I'll let them talk for a second and then I'll stop and be like, oh, okay, I'm fine. How are you doing? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm fine. And they'll acknowledge that you're talking to them. But sometimes they'll just look at you after you say that and it's like, okay, you know I'm going to play your shit now, right? But okay, that's fine with me. Number 4, people who ride their bikes like they're fucking cars. You know what I'm talking about. If you ride with traffic, I'm not tripping. If you're in the bike lane, it's all good. If you want to get in the turn lane, whatever. But don't ride in the lane like you're a fucking car. And if you are going to do it, how do you get to run the light? So what they'll do out here is specifically is they'll sit in the turn lane like they're a bike. And then when the light turns red, they'll dip into traffic and just cross. Which is fine, but it's like, well, if you're going to sit at the light and take up a spot like you're a car, then why don't you just wait for the light like everybody else, you ass? You're too close to me. Like, what are you doing? Shut up. You fucking asshole. Number 3, if you haven't drove out here in the Bay, people have no fucking sense. They will cut you off. Because if you're crossing the bridge in the morning, the Bay Bridge from Oakland to San Francisco, it's going to take you about an hour and a half. No bullshit. Maybe 2 hours on a bad day if it's raining. If you're on 580, 880, at about 3 to 4 o'clock, it's bumper to bumper all the way past the Coliseum. So people will cut you off to get one space ahead. Or they'll fucking just not look and go 3 lanes across. I have no idea. This is no particular race in general, so stop assuming, you assholes. This is everyone. I've seen everyone do it. From the nicest Tesla to the most bucket-ass scraper that you've ever seen. It's why I hate driving. It's why I see people that ride BART. Number 2, people who throw change on the fucking counter. If I stick my hand out to take the money from you and you throw it on the counter, it takes everything in my fucking soul not to just grab you, to smash your goddamn head in the counter. Like, it's beyond disrespectful. But I mean, I can't really do anything. I'm an adult. So I just pay them back by making sure I do it back to them. Just throw it right back on them on the counter. And then they look at me, it's like, what? You did it. I just assumed that was how you're supposed to do it. Lastly but not leastly, the people that I want to run over every fucking day. People who use the fucking crosswalk. Now, let me preface this. If you are under the age of 12 or over the age of 60 and you use the crosswalk, I get it. I 100% get it. You need a little bit of time. You need to make sure that you cross safely. But if you're 13 to fucking 59, and let me be specific, not even the crosswalk at the corner, because I get it. In some situations, the crosswalk lights up. It lets traffic know that you're coming. It changes the lights. I get it. I'm talking about the ones that are in the middle of the street where it's a crosswalk, not at a light, just in between and it lights up. Or where it's just a crosswalk with no lights that you can just walk across. I fucking, again, I don't want to say I hate it. It drives me crazy. I get it. You want to cross the street? You want to cross safely? I 100% get it. This does not entitle you to push the button and then walk across the street and not look. Or to leisurely walk your bitch ass across the street. If you're going to cross the street, high knees, motherfucker. Get your ass across the street. When I cross the street, I wait to see if cars are coming. I let all the cars pass. If there's a break, I go right in between. If more cars are coming, I let them go and go. It's just so fucking inconsiderate to me. Like, oh, I have to calm down. I'm going to start cussing this shit. It bothers me to no end how people just feel like, oh, I want to cross the street. So now traffic is going to be backed up in both directions because I want to cross the street. Now I get it. If you want to cross the street, people should stop. But you need to make an effort to get your ass across the street. Don't try to fucking... It goes back to what I talked about last time. To entitlement and people feeling like, I'm so important, you're not going to do shit because there's a camera out here. It's like, you need your motherfucking ass beat. Like, what gives you the right to do that? Especially if you're on your phone, just walking by like, okay, I probably shouldn't admit this, but fuck it. All right. So these fucking millennials did it to me. I stop for people. I'll stop at the light, whatever. This motherfucking asshole was just strolling across the street. Like, you're not going to do shit. Like, oh, I'm not? Okay. And I happen to just have a water bottle in the car. So you already know what happened. As soon as he got far enough out, he was crossing from the right to the left, and I was in the right lane. So as soon as he crossed and he got into the little middle part, a water bottle might have fell out of my car and it might have hit him. But I was nice. I left the cap on. I didn't just throw it at him completely. And then I dipped off and said, get your bitch ass off the street. I'm sorry, I'm a savage. What did you expect? Jesus Christ. All right, for the win in overtime. He wins. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's see. Same old. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TruSavAgeComedy.com. Questions, comments, concerns, bestdayeverpodcast@gmail.com. Oh, I almost forgot. See, look, I was about to drop a gem on you guys. Someone posted this. This is what even made me think about this episode today. I'm going to leave you with this before I bounce. Sometimes jealousy isn't only because of what you have materialistically. People envy how others love you, show love to you, and have love for you. People envy the way you handle the situation that they would have probably died over. What they thought would have broke you but didn't. They can't stand to see you hold your head up high. Some people envy your intelligence and how you can make things happen. They envy because something that they couldn't get past, you passed with flying colors. Woo. I'm the shit and you know it. I can't get yesterday back. I might not get tomorrow. So that makes today the best day ever. Holla at your boy.